Hey there, my name is Kimberly and welcome to my very first Flosstube video. So a little bit about me. I am a born and raised Saskatchewan prairie girl. I've lived on a farm or ranch almost my entire life. 6 years ago, we decided to downsize and we now live on a 60-acre acreage. I have 2 horses, Fran and Ruby, who I'm sure will making appearances in these videos every once in a while as they are a big part of my life. I also have a dog named Goldie and a very naughty cat named Spice, who I'm sure will also be making a lot of cameo appearances in my videos, and you will soon see why he is called Naughty. So besides cross stitch, I do plan on sprinkling a few other things that I'm doing in my life on here. I really enjoy doing yard work and gardening. I have been dabbling in quilting and am trying to have a quilting project on the go at all times. I also love decorating my home and especially using my cross stitch pieces to help decorate my home. So that's been a lot of fun. I like to do different vignettes for the seasons. It has especially been challenging to do that with the naughty cat. He loves to mess with my decor. I've also been very honored to be a model stitcher for Erin Elizabeth Designs. So I stitch a lot of stuff for her ahead of time. Those stitches I probably won't be able to share with you as I'm working on them because they haven't been released to the public yet, but it's super fun to be able to stitch on those, knowing that I am the first person who stitched that design. So it's been a lot of fun to do that, and whenever she releases designs that I've stitched, I will try to put them on here and show them to you as well because it is a large part of my cross stitch journey. So I've been cross stitching for about 2.5 years now. I don't even know what compelled me to start cross stitching, to be honest with you. My mom cross stitched when I was little, which was 30 years ago. So I still remember her cross stitching. I remember seeing the pieces around our home, but it's been so long and I don't really know what compelled me to, but one Christmas a couple years ago, I put a cross stitch kit on my wish list, and my mom had me that year for our family Christmas draw, and she found a kit for me, and it took me about 6 months to pick it up. That following June, I finally picked it up and started stitching on it, and I had no idea what I was doing. My mom gave me a few tips, but I literally had no idea what I was doing. So I jumped on YouTube and started finding different tutorials and how-tos on how to do it. And that's how I stumbled upon the cross stitch / floss tube videos, and I went down that rabbit hole and I have been hooked ever since. So the kit that she got me was this Dimensions kit. It's a Dimension Petite. Not only did I ask for a cross stitch kit, but it had to specifically have horses on it. So I think she had a bit of a hard time finding one for me. What she found was this full coverage 5x7 dimensions piece that is done on 18 count Aida. A lot of different colors. It is quite the kit, and probably not recommended for someone just starting with cross stitching. Actually, I definitely wouldn't recommend this for anyone that's just starting cross stitching. However, even though it was a big learning curve, I learned a ton thanks to YouTube, and I probably wouldn't have it any other way. It advanced my cross stitching quite a bit, but it's still actually a whip. This is what it looks like. I made so many mistakes on this and I didn't fix any of them. So it's not done. There's still little bits and pieces in there that need to be filled in. So it's still an ongoing whip that I haven't pulled out in since June 2022, I think. I was so close to finishing that other one, but I couldn't wait to start a new project. I decided, why not start a huge giant project? I really love Lori Holt's designs. I love her fabric as well. I love her use of colors. Oh, this is called Flea Market Baskets. This one's actually kind of fun to look at because my cross stitch, this is the piece I learned to stitch on. And this is the piece I honed my skills on. So you can really see the progression of not great stitching, and then as you go around you can see where I definitely have gotten better. I'm super proud that I finished this. I got it professionally framed and it's hanging in a main area in my house where I can see it every day, and I absolutely love it, bad stitches and all. Okay, let's get into my whips. I typically am stitching about 3 to 4 pieces at a time, not at one time, but like I cycle through 3 to 4 pieces. 3 of those projects are my own projects, and then one of them is typically a model stitch for Erin. So I'm going to share with you the projects that I've been working on this week. I also have a drawer of whips that I haven't been working on. I typically stitch in the season. I'm a season stitcher and a mood stitcher. So I just keep 3 or 4 projects out that I feel like stitching on, and the other ones just live in the drawer until I feel like working on them. I worked on this one. It's called Hey There Pumpkin by Hands On Design, and I'm stitching it on 32 count Vintage Country Mocha. It's a nice little piece, so it shouldn't take too long to finish, but I did change the colors a little bit on this one to accommodate what I had on hand and to also match the piece that I think I might be finishing on. I say think because I change my mind a lot. The second project that I'm working on this week, I just started. It is the November Cottage of the Month by Country Cottage Needlework. I've done September and October, and actually I debated on doing November because I live in Canada and the November one is quite Thanksgiving vibes, but we still have fall here, especially this year. Some years by November we're covered in 3 feet of snow. This year, thankfully, we're still very much enjoying fall. I mean, it's still the end of October, but we're going into November. The forecast is looking great. So I'm feeling optimistic that this will still be appropriate for me here in November. And if it isn't, then it's just wishful thinking. If we have Novembers with snow, I'll still enjoy this piece. So all I have so far is the roof of the house. It's a very humble start. Again, 32 count Vintage Country Mocha, which you will notice I stitch on almost exclusively this fabric. I love it because it's a nice neutral with a little bit of modeling and variegation in it, and the white pops really nice on it. My last personal whip for this week is not on Vintage Country Mocha. So this is my Halloween stitch from Autumn Lane Stitchery. It is called Tonight We Ride. This is definitely a bigger project, and I started it way too late this year to finish it this year for Halloween. But I've been quite enjoying it. I've been quite enjoying stitching on this bright orange fabric. So the called for fabric on this one, as you might be able to see, is a hand dyed, kind of more modeled looking. It gives that like cloudy, eerie vibe, but because I started this project way too late, I couldn't find any in-stock fabric like that. So I just opted to go with the orange. So that's all I've gotten done so far. This is it's going to be quite a big piece. So it's kind of looking like next year territory for Halloween, which is totally fine. After Halloween, I'm probably going to pack this away in my whip drawer and pull it out again next fall. So those are my 3 cross stitch whips. I'm also working on a model stitch for Erin, which I can't show you because it hasn't been released to public yet. But when she does release stitches that I've done, or that I've done the model on, I will try to share them with you. Just recently, she released one called Baba Black Sheep. So this one was really fun to stitch, and I think it's super cute. Perfect for maybe a kid's bedroom, or if you love sheep like me, you can put it anywhere. Another whip is my quilting whip. So I am doing, this one is called Jelly Roll Jam Quilt. It's a free pattern off of the Fat Quarter Shop website. It's kind of a summery themed one, which doesn't really fit my fall projects right now, but that's fine. I just wanted to dive into a project. So it's actually a really small quilt, only 36.5 by 36.5, which is great for me and the newbie still trying to figure out how to do this. I'm kind of teaching myself via YouTube on how to do it, just like I taught myself how to cross stitch, but it's been a lot of fun. Okay, let's jump into my finishes for the week. I have 2 finishes. One is not fully finished yet because I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. I kind of know where I want to put it, but I don't know how I'm going to finish it yet. So it's still to be decided, but I finished Starbarks, designed by Plum Street Samplers. Aren't the wiener dogs so cute? They actually have a series of these wiener dogs featured in designs, and they're so much fun. Starbarks definitely has been my favorite one though. And then I have one fully finished piece, the October Cottage of the Month, even though it's the end of October now. I just finished this past week, although I finished stitching it earlier in October. I finally got around to finishing it. I actually got this trivet, I think is how you say it, from a thrift shop. And I had the September Cottage of the Month on here, and all I did was just very lightly hot glued it on there, so it's super easy to pop off. And this one lives in an old vintage secretary desk that I absolutely love, and my plan is just to switch out all of the Cottage of the Months on here as I stitch them. I have a little bit of Stitchy Haul to share this week. Definitely there will not be a haul every week because I don't shop that often. But yesterday I went to the quilt shop to look for some finishing fabrics as well as some fabrics to use with my quilting projects. So I grabbed some Christmassy fabric to use because I'm going to be starting to cross stitch Christmas right away, and I don't think I have any Christmas fabric. And then I got a yard of this red and white polka dot fabric for Christmas projects, but I think this will work really good for even summer projects like strawberry cross stitches. I think that'll look super cute. And then I also got this striped fabric that I'm hoping will work on some of my Christmas stuff as well. I guess I got a large thing of sticky board because I like to use sticky board to mount the cross stitch pieces too, and the fabric pieces too when I'm finishing my cross stitches. And then I got, so the quilt that I'm currently working on right now, I didn't have binding or backing fabric, so I grabbed this yellow grunge fabric for the binding, and then this blue, tealy blue fabric for the backing. And then, because I have a fear of running out of projects that I know is never going to happen, but I like to stay ahead of myself at least one step, so I grabbed some more fabric for my next quilting project. This is I think some people might call this a layer cake. This brand calls it 10 karat gems. So it's just a stack, I think, of 42 10-inch squares. This one's called I'm a Lumberjack, which is super fun. I think will be perfect for Christmas, and it's got a lot of different like plaids and blacks and whites in it, pretty much. Blacks, whites, and reds. So I'm really looking forward to making a project with that. And then I got black fabric for the binding on that, and a white snowflake. It's hard to see the snowflakes in there, but a white snowflake fabric for the backing. Okay, that's a wrap on my cross stitch for this week. I also recorded a quick little video tour of my fall and Halloween decorations in my house, and you'll see a nice little cameo of and evidence of Spice being a really naughty cat. I'm gonna take you on a quick little tour of some of the Halloween and fall decorations I have in my house. This is one of my favorite places to decorate. I love switching it out for the season. And as you can see, I also love incorporating some cross stitch into my decor. I think that is the absolute funnest and most rewarding thing. So this little fox cross stitch came from Pigeon Coop Designs in his new book. And then I also have this cute one here called Harvest on Dahlia Ridge, which is from Heart and Hand. I have a pumpkin thief down here. I have a lizard that lives on the bottom shelf that I got from Mexico. And this guy makes it really hard to keep things decorated, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, the next shelf is a Halloween themed shelf. I don't have a ton of Halloween decorations, so this is almost it right now. Slowly building a collection. The table runner my mom made for me, and I love it. It just adds a nice fun pop of color to this shelf. And then moving over here, I actually used to have a couple of not live, but real pumpkins in this space, but but as you know, pumpkins eventually get old and leaky. So I wanted to get them off the floor before they ruined the floor. So right now it's just my cow picture, which I use pretty much all year round. And then I made that little Hello Fall poster and put a frame around it just to add some fun color and a little country vibe to the space. Oh, good, good. See what I mean? I can't do anything nice. Literally can't do anything nice around here. This little corner really isn't decorated for fall at the moment, but I do keep my Cottage of the Month series in here. So I switch them out for the months as I get them stitched. I literally just got October stitched, as you know, so it'll only be in here for a little while. I'll probably keep it in here until I get November done. But I love this vintage secretary desk. Here's a real life moment. My tier tray is actually one of my favorite pieces to decorate, but the cat, he's been okay. Well, today he's being bad everywhere, but he's okay with some decorations, and then some things he just will not leave alone, and this is one of them. He hops up on the counter and rustles through it and steals stuff out of it, and it's just a jumbled mess. But I literally cannot keep it nice. He messes with it so badly. There used to be some flowers in there, but he steals them. Some of them are hidden underneath. Now I just stuff them underneath. But this is just a little coffee tea station, mostly tea. I have some chai for the morning, peppermint for the evening, and then I like to use that gingerbread spice to top some chai tea lattes. My other absolute favorite place to decorate is the hutch that you see behind me in the video. It actually not too long ago just housed all my cross stitch supplies, but I see this space every single day, so I wanted to incorporate decor in there as well. But I also keep some of my cross stitch stuff in here, including a stack of fabrics. So this cross stitch piece I recently finished in October. It's October. It is Pumpkins for Sale by Little House Needleworks. And then the home piece, it's an Erin Elizabeth design that I cross-stitched for myself, but she took it and finished it for me and used it as a model and then sent it back to me, which is super cool. Thanks so much for watching my video. I hope that you enjoyed spending a little bit of time hanging out with me today. If you want to follow me on social media, I have a Facebook page called Dusty Road Life and an Instagram account that goes with that called Dusty Road Kim, where I share all of my cross stitch stuff along with bits and pieces of my life here in rural Saskatchewan. And then I also have an Instagram account called Cross Stitch Kim, and that I just share just my cross stitch. Thanks again for hanging out with me. I'll see you next week. Bye.